Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting video. Today is day 7, Thala for a reason. Day 7 of 75 days coding challenge, and in this video we are going to write our own polyfills for map method and for each method. And trust me, it's way more easier and way more fun than you think. So let's start. But before start, you know what to do. Subscribe, man.
क्या बात है सर, क्या बात है सर, क्या बात, ये बात है.
Let's start with the quick refresher first. How does map and for each method works? Okay, let me tell you, both are iterative methods. So they are expecting a callback functions which will be called for every elements in the array except for the empty slots. Okay, so let me show you. Let me create an array and call a for each method on it. First argument callback function, which is mandatory, right? I am providing a arrow function as callback function, and let me console log this. It is printing 1 2 3, right? The second argument they are expecting is this keyword. This is optional, maybe we can send it, otherwise we can ignore it. If we want to, if we want to have this callback function a specific value of this, then we can pass the second argument. And this for each method does not return anything. Let me console log it, and it will print undefined, as you can see, right? And for sparse array, like the array which has any empty slots, then the callback function for those empty slots will not be called. Let me show you. Let's say I have one empty slots between 1 and 3, and it is only printing 1 and 3. It is the callback function itself didn't get called for the empty slots. So keep this in mind. Let's do the same thing for the map method. So map method is also expecting a callback function, but the difference is map method will store the result of callback function and put it in the array and then return it. So let me console log the result of the map method. As you can see, let me remove the console log here, and instead of console logging, I will multiply it by 2, every element. So we are getting the resultant as 2 4 6. The every element got multiplied by 2 and it got stored in the array. So we have returned it. So for each method एक डिलीवरी बॉय की तरह है, जो कि जिसको जितने भी उसे ऑर्डर देने हैं आज, सबकी रिंग डोरबेल बजाएगा, राइट? So that's the for each method. They are not expecting anything in return. But map method में भी हमारी मम्मी की तरह, जो हमारे लिए आलू को पराठों में कन्वर्ट करके हमें देगी, बिकॉज ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होती है मैप मेथड में. वी आर गेटिंग समथिंग बैक, राइट? सो दिस इज मैप मेथड. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द पॉलीफिलिंग ऑफ दीज मेथड्स. So let me show you what we can do, to make the polyfills of these methods. What all things we need to keep in mind. First, we need to, do the handling for the null. Maybe I can call this method for null, but for those, I will need to provide the error, right? Null error. And what if my first argument, which I am expecting as a callback function, but if someone does not provide the call, first argument as a function, then I should throw the error, right? Function check. I will do, right? Third, I will need to convert the value of this into an object. Maybe this for each method gets called for any primitive type, so we'll need to convert the into object. Convert primitive to objects. And as these all methods are generic methods, which they are expecting a property of, a property, length property, right? So they are expecting a length property on every, on the this value. So they will check for length property and do the sanitization using unsigned right shift operator with 0 bits, right? So I have explained this in the polyfill of push method because we have done the same thing in other polyfills also, so you can go and see it. This is the sanitization of length because it will convert negative to positive. If length is undefined, it will convert it to 0, so it will do the conversion. It will, if there is any length which is out of range, also it will bring in the range. So basically that's what it will do. Okay, so this we have done, right? So now we will need to run the loop over each elements, right? And check if any empty slot, then don't call the callback function. If there is any, if it is not an empty slot, then call the callback function. And in callback function we will need to pass the, first we are expecting the element, right? Then we are expecting index and then the complete array. These all things we need to pass in the callback function. And if anyone has provided the value of second argument, which is this, then also we will need to call this callback function with that specific value of this, right? So let's do this in the code. Let me, these functions are on array prototype. Okay, let me create the my ForEach. First I will check if it does not exist on the array prototype, then only I will create it. So first value they are expecting is the callback function, and then second is this arg, right? So first let me check for the null, if the for each method is being called for any null, because the value of this will be the array if it is being called on, or maybe we have modified this. So here we can throw any new error, maybe null cannot be called for, for each cannot be called for null value, right? So you can specify this. Second, we also need to check if the callback function, type of callback function is function, because this is mandatory, otherwise we will throw the error. First arg should be a function, right? Then what will we do? Then we will check for the convert the primitive to object. So let's do it. Convert any primitive type to object. Then we'll check for the length property and we will do the sanitization using unsigned right shift operator, right? So now we will run over the loop. Let's say I have less than length, given length, and I plus plus, right? But before calling the callback function, I need to check if it is not an empty slot. How I will check that? I will check if I in obj. If it is in obj, then it is not an empty slot. Then I will call the callback function using my call method, because I will need to pass the this arg also, maybe because we have received the second argument and I need this value specific inside the callback function. So I will do this. Then I will need to pass the element of the array. So element of the array will be obj I, right? Next I will need to send the index, and next I will send the complete array, right? And then I will return undefined, or maybe I don't need to do anything because it will return the undefined. So let me test it. instead of my for each I will call first argument should be a function. Oh, I think we have missed something. Okay, not equal to, it should be not equal to, it should be function, right? So we are receiving the result 1 2 3, it is returning, right? And for sparse array I can also test, returning the getting the same result, right? So this is it for the for each polyfill. For the map polyfill we will do the copy this polyfill because almost similar, only thing which we need to change is here my map and my map, right? So here I will need to store the result of the callback function in an array. So I will create an array with the length, the similar length which we received, which we are being called upon, and I will return store the result in the array, right? Result of callback function, and I will return the array. So that's the only difference in the map method. Let me test this map method also. Console log, we are getting the good result. So this is it for this video. We have done the polyfill of map method and for each method, and you know how it works now. So if you like this video and you enjoyed this video, you can try creating the polyfill of filter method, because I will cover that in next video. And but before that I want to see your solution first. So don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your developer friends. So yeah, see you in the next.